Doubts about conversion. So far, the arguments put forth by the critics have been discussed. Now I propose to clarify the doubts expressed by the sympathizers of conversion. In the first place, it has reached my ears that some of the Mahars are worried as to what will be the fate of their Watan, hereditary rights of a village servant. The high caste Hindus are also reported to have threatened the Mahars that they will be deprived of their services as village servants if they leave the Hindu religion. All of you are aware that I am least worried if the Mahar Watan is abolished. During the last 10 years, I have been advocating that if there is anything that dooms the fate of Mahars, it is the Mahar Watan alone. And the day on which you will be freed from these chains of Maharness, Maharki, I think your path of liberation will be open to you. However, for those who need this Mahar Watan, I can assure them that their Watan will not come in trouble by their conversion. In this regard, the Act of 1850 can be referred to. Under the provisions of this Act, no rights of a person or his successor with respect to his property are affected by virtue of his conversion. As for those who feel this reference to law to be insufficient, their attention is drawn to the circumstance prevalent in Nagar district. A number of persons from the Mahar community in this district have become Christians. At some places, we find that in one family, some are Christians while others still remain as Mahars. However, the Watan rights of these converted Christians have not been removed. This may be confirmed from the Mahars of Nagar, so no one should fear that their Watan will come in peril by conversion. A second doubt is about political rights. Some people express concern as to what will happen to our political safeguards if we convert. Nobody can say that I do not realize the importance of the political safeguards the untouchables have achieved. Nobody else has taken so much pains and has made so much effort for securing political rights for the untouchables as I have done. But I feel it is not proper to depend solely on political rights. These political safeguards are not granted on the condition that they shall be everlasting. They are bound to be ended sometime. According to the communal award of the British government, our political safeguards were limited for 20 years. Although no such limitation has been fixed by the Pune Pact, nobody can say they are everlasting. Those who depend upon these political safeguards must think about what will happen after these safeguards are withdrawn. On the day on which our political rights cease to exist, we will have to depend upon our social strength. I have already told you that this social strength is wanting in us. So also I have proved in the beginning that this strength cannot be achieved without conversion. No one should think only of the present. To forget what is eternally beneficial and to be lured by temporary gains is bound to lead to suffering. Under these circumstances, one must think what is permanently beneficial. In my opinion, conversion is the only remedy for eternal bliss. Nobody should hesitate, even if political rights are required to be sacrificed for this purpose. Conversion brings no harm to political safeguards. I do not understand why political safeguards should at all come in trouble by conversion. Wherever you may go, your political rights and safeguards will accompany you. I have no doubt about it. If you become Muslims, you will get political rights as Muslims. If you become Christians, you will get your political rights as Christians. If you become Sikhs, you will have your political safeguards as Sikhs. Political rights are based on population. The political safeguards of any society will increase with the increase of its population. Nobody should misunderstand or wrongly think that if we leave the Hindu society, all the 15 seats allotted to us will go back to Hindus. If we become Muslims, our 15 seats will be added to the seats reserved for Muslims. Likewise, if we become Christians, our seats will be added to the seats reserved for Christians. In short, our political rights will accompany us, so nobody should be afraid of it. On the other hand, if we remain Hindus and do not convert, think about whether our rights will be safe. This you must think carefully about. Suppose the Hindus have passed a law whereby untouchability is prohibited and its practice is made punishable, then they ask you, we have abolished untouchability by law. Now you are no longer untouchables. At the most, you are simply poor and backward, but other castes are equally backward. We have not provided any political safeguard for these backward communities. Then why should you be given such political safeguards? What will be your reply to these questions? The reply of the Muslims and the Christians will be very simple. They will say, we are not granted political safeguards and rights because we are poor, illiterate, or backward, but because our religion is different, our society is different, and so on. And so long as our religion is different from yours, we must get our share in the political rights. this will be their appropriate reply. As long as you are Hindus, you cannot take this stand that you are entitled to political safeguards because your society, your religion is altogether different. You will be able to take this stand on the day on which you liberate yourself from the serfdom of Hindu society. And unless you stand on such a sound footing and claim political safeguards, your political rights and safeguards cannot be considered to be permanent and free from danger. Looking from this perspective, conversion becomes a means for strengthening political safeguards rather than becoming a hindrance. If you remain Hindus, you are sure to lose your political safeguards. If you want to save them, leave this religion. Political safeguards will be permanent only through conversion.